Welcome to Kilmallock for the second of this weekend's Limerick Senior Hurling Championship quarter-finals. Today it's Patrickswell versus South Liberties, hoping to join Doon, Kilmallock and Napirsig in the last four of the Monsecure's Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship for 22. John Keogh here in commentary. I'm delighted to be joined by Jack Neville for this game. Jack, yesterday we had beautiful autumnal sunshine. For that game between Doon and Kildimo Palace Kenry. We have very different conditions this afternoon.
Yeah, when I left home it was very, very bad, John. I was actually worried that the pitch mightn't hold up, but it's cleared anyway from the rain. It's quite breezy. I don't know if the cameras will pick up on that, but it's dry anyway at the moment. Pitch seems to be holding up well. The team started their warm-ups in the backfield. Now they're onto the main field. You mentioned yesterday's game. Brilliant game between Kildimo Palace Kenry and Doon. If you got half the game yesterday, you'll be really pleased with that. And I suppose the one thing is, Patrickswell are trying to make it the same teams in the last four for the last 6 years now. You just love to see South Liberties put them up to them like they did with Kilmallock last year. And look, if it is Patrickswell at the end of the day, all you want is a close game. And judge what the teams have put out so far this year, it is, seems to be like it's going to be a close game.
Both sides, Jack, probably in comparison with yesterday's game, and we just slight comparisons maybe, but both Doon and Kildimo Palace Kenry had very positive seasons, but for Patrickswell, initially anyway, they've struggled. They came fourth on 4 points from their 5 games. It hasn't been as good a year as last year was so far for John O'Mara's men. Well, conversely, on the other side, South Liberties kind of struggled to get going in a lot of games. Eventually, by virtue of that victory over Ballybrown in their last game, a comfortable victory as it turned out to be, finished second, and of course they're in the quarter-final. So both sides with still plenty to prove.
Yeah, I suppose the last time we saw Patrickswell in Kilmallock was no doubt their best game of the season. Probably should have beat Doon here only for a last-minute goal from Pat Cummins. If they can put in a performance like that again today, they'll be hard bet. They have Josh Constein back now as well. Kevin O'Brien was missing games at the start of the year. Obviously still no Keane Lynch, which is a huge loss to inter-county team, not to mind the club team. But Patrickswell have showed more signs in recent games. Obviously beat Adair, in a winner-takes-all game in the last stage of the group stages. So they do seem to be hitting more of their form. They're not at the level they were at last year getting to county final, but they could have been beaten by Adair at the same stage last year, and they come through it. Conversely then, for Liberties, they went into that game against Ballybrown without fate in their own hands. They did what they could, and Munger or Blackrock, whichever one you want to say, did them a favour. And they're here now, and it's their third quarter-final in 4 years. They have a nice bit of pedigree at this stage. They were beaten well by Patrickswell 4 years ago. Doon had a nice victory over them, but last against Kilmallock, they really showed what they're about, and again against Ballybrown, who would have been seen as the pre-season favourites for Group 2, they put a nice score on them. So, they seem to be building towards a quarter-final, and that's what you want to be at the business end of the year.
Quick check in the teams now, starting with Patrickswell, I should say. Jason Glenn in goals. Full backline of number 2, Kelvin Lynch, Nigel Foley. Number 9, John Flynn will revert to left corner back. Tom Nolan wearing 7 starts on the right, and he's joined by Diarmuid Burns, the Patrickswell captain, and Sean O'Brien wearing number 4. Midfield sees Mark Carmody joined by Josh Considine, as Jack Neville mentioned. Aaron Galland is expected to wear number 14 on the right half forward position. Jack Keller wearing 8 is at centre forward, and Jordan Higgins left half forward wearing number 10. Kevin O'Brien wears number 21 at top of the right. Full forward Patrick Kirby, and the Patrickswell team managed by John O'Mara is completed by number 13 Tom O'Brien. Over to South Liberties now. In goals, Anthony Nash. Full backline of Brian Nash, Michael O'Brien, Owen Quilty. Owen Godfrey's wearing 5 at right half back and is captain. Number 17, Shane O'Neill, comes in at centre back wearing 17. He's joined, and David Gary, I should say, completes the South Liberties half back line. Midfield sees Barry Cooney joined by Mike Keane. We'll continue that South Liberties team in a moment as we pause now for a minute's silence for the tragic victims of that horrendous incident up in Donegal in Creeshla. We'll hold for a minute's silence there. We'll also now pause for our rendezvous. And just to finish off the South Liberties team, Barry Nash, Brian Ryan wearing 6 and Tom Ryan are in the half forward line. Full forward line, Ken Burns, Conor McSweeney and David O'Neill. Jack, time for prediction. Who do you reckon is going to come out on top?
Yeah, I said earlier in the week that I'd fancy Patrickswell, and I do still fancy them to come through, but I think it'll be a close enough game. We mentioned the weather, that it was dry, it's certainly raining now. I think it'll play into the hands of Liberties probably more. They went for goals in last year's quarter final. I think they'll get a share of goals, but I think Patrickswell will come through and complete the lineup we've come so accustomed to in the last 4.
Referee for this afternoon's game is John O'Halloran from Brewery. Almost ready to go here. So Liberties playing from left to right, and it's they that look to win possession straight away. Battle in the middle of midfield. They do have it though. It's Barry Cooney that has it. Play on, says referee John O'Halloran, and away comes Josh Considine with possession. Josh now looking to make up for last time in this season's championship. Good pressure left there, and Sean O'Brien trying to win it for Patrickswell. Battle straight away. It's a foul by Josh Considine. Pushing the back, says referee John O'Halloran. Jack, chance immediately here for South Liberties.
Yeah, it's a tough free for Barry, especially in the conditions from far out. But you know, tough work there from South Liberties. It's going to come down to a lot to work rate. Just a brief cameo there from Josh Considine. Looks like he was never away. Now he has had a couple of games under his belt, but a few nice little touches. But the work rate from South Liberties give him a scoring chance. And you know, Barry has been on the freeze for the majority of the year and has been nailing most of them. So look, he'll be looking to get off to a good start, and a very good start for South Liberties if they can go ahead.
Yeah, the wind has certainly picked up here in Kilmallock as well as Barry Nash lines this one up. Mainly going across the field, but probably in South Liberty's favour if you're going to call it between either of the sides. So it's Barry Nash right from midfield to take this one on. Nash has struck that one very well. That's the opening score of the game. Can't ask for much more than that, Jack.
No, beautiful strike straight down the middle. He's a hurler of the year, a nominee for a reason, John, and he showed every bit of it there. And Jason Glenn gets us back underway and aims for his brother.
Yeah, no surprise that one from Jason trying to find Aaron. Loose ball over on that far side, and Aaron has come out second best of that one. Free, says referee John O'Halloran.
Yeah, I don't know. From what I saw there, I didn't think there was too much in it. It was a free, but I don't think, Aaron's a big lad. If he hits you, you're going to feel it, but I don't think there's any malicious intent in that from what I saw anyway. But it's not a bad option for Jason to see his brother out there out in the wing. You know, I suppose when he plays in full forward, it's not as readily available for him to get it, but he's a brilliant option there for puckouts. We saw it in 2017. He was young or under 21's hurler of the year from wing forward, so he has the pedigree to play in any of those positions. But again, a free for South Liberties. Anthony Nash probably just outside his range. Just
about, I'd say, Jack, given I was at 8 points earlier in this campaign in that game against Ballybrown out in Fedamore. But that's a yellow card for Aaron Gillarn for that challenge, and Owen Quilty as well. So no messing around from referee John O'Halloran here. I think Anthony Nash may have stolen a good 5 metres on that one as well. Maybe back into his range. We'll find out soon enough as the rain starts to team down here in Kilmallock. It's just a delivery from Anthony. It's a fairly good one in and around the 21 metre line. Hands go up. It's going to break for Mark Carmody. Outstanding championship for Patrickswell this year, and Carmody just gets rid of it under severe pressure. It's going to fall for Tom Ryan over there. Another man who's had a fine year. Tom Ryan can score these for fun. Can Tom Ryan? This time though it's fallen to the right and wide. And, Tom Ryan's fairly streaky at times, Jack. This occasion didn't go his way.
Yeah, look, and Tom will be disappointed. I know it's over the shoulder and he's heading away from goal, but he's a beautiful striker of the ball, has been for the last decade or more in Limerick Hurling Championship, and he'll be disappointed because it is a chance missed.
Jordan Higgins' accidental flick over to Josh Considine. Considine on the run. Shoulder, says the referee John O'Halloran. And under pressure, and away comes South Liberties with it now. Chance for Brian Ryan, who's playing at centre forward, plays it up to Barry Nash. Brian Ryan dropping deep enough so far, and Barry Nash taking on Kevin O'Brien. O'Brien has the pace to stay with him initially at least. Still going though, and there's going to be a free for South Liberties. Excellent work from Barry Nash, Jack, and a chance for the same man to double his advantage.
Yeah, brilliant. Well worked there in defence. Owen Godfrey with the shoulder on Josh Constantine come through the middle. That's what you want from your captain, setting the tone, and your star man Barry Nash down the line. And it was a cynical enough free just to get in his way, because it had to open up for him out in the wing, but it's just on the 40, or it's just on the 45, but it's an equally difficult free, if not more, just on the angle. But Barry has one under his belt now. I'm sure he'll be very confident stepping up to take this.
Yeah, fine year so far for Barry Nash in both club and county colours. Real linchpin of the South Liberties side, as you would expect. It's already nailed one from maybe straight in front from midfield, but there's no easy free here this afternoon in Kilmallock. This one much more difficult though, especially given the conditions. And Barry Nash has popped that one over as well. So Jack, Patrickswell have their warning, give away frees 80, 90 yards from goals. Every chance will be put over.
Yeah, and I think similarly for Liberties, they'll know themselves that they can't be given away free, and that was so important that Owen Godfrey got a clean connection with that shoulder, because you have two brilliant free takers that could break for Glen here.
Yeah, it's breaking ball here, and Liberties have managed to get it away. I think David Gary getting a boot in there, and the clearance is a low one in towards Shane O'Neill there, wearing 17, operating centre back Josh Constantine, who's been very prominent in the opening stages, trying to get Patrickswell on the scoreboard. That's exactly what Constantine has done. Scored a game so far.
Yeah, he's channeling his inner Kyle Hayes. We saw Kyle is, one very similar yesterday out in the wing, and such a difficult, you don't appreciate a score like that it's happening so often in the Limerick Hurling Championship these days, but a brilliant score, that'll settle down the whole Patrickswell team.
And Anthony Nash now with this resultant puck out, strikes it aiming over to that far side. Brian Ryan is up there, but it's Patrickswell that get to it first now, and it's Mark Carmody yet again under pressure. Tom Ryan getting the hurley in. Carmody just flies it into the air, but he's gone out over the sideline. And Jack, it's really conditions are worsening here. The rain is going from each side, we can see, coming in towards us, coming away from us, up and down the fields. But South Liberties have made a very positive start.
Yeah, they're matching this weather, which is getting fairly ferocious now. They're really, that's twice now Mark Carmody is at the first time he played it straight to Tom Ryan. That one he was bundled over the line, and again I said at the start it's going to be about work rate for South Liberties, and they've started as they mean to go on, and it's a brilliant start, and it's far out here for Tom, but you wouldn't put it against him.
Yeah, some striker of a ball on form. Tom Ryan has got a fine connection on that one too. It's going to drop in around the 14 metre line. That's Barry Nash again looking for point number 3, well hooked by Josh Considine, and Barry has got a flick on that, but it's going to only towards Jason Glenn. Low clearance there from Jason out to John Flynn. John Flynn into the middle it goes. Decent touch from Carmody. He might be able to get away now. Gets the hand pass away to Jack Keller. Jack Keller wearing number 8, having a go at this one, but that's the first wide of the game for Patrickswell. But it's going to come back for a free. John O'Halloran.
Yeah, John had called that, and I don't know, did Jack Keller know that he had a free shot, but John clearly had his arm signalled for the advantage there, so it'll be Burnsy to take this one.
Yeah, it was a late hit on Mark Carmody, I think, that one, Jack.
Yeah, and look, when you're playing on the edge, sometimes you're going to go over the edge, and again, nothing malicious there, but it is a free, and Dermot here can bring us level.
7 minutes on the clock here in Kilmallock in the Consecures Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship quarter-final conditions. Well, we can't say it enough, Jack. It's very, very tricky as Dermot Burns strikes this one. Usually so good from here. No mistake again from Burns. 2 points apiece, Jack.
Yeah, and I don't think there is anybody in the country playing any grade of hurling that you'd rather standing over a ball on your own 65 in a free in conditions like this. It doesn't matter whether it's bone dry or slashing rain. Dermot allows make a sweet connection, and one of the best strikers in the game, no doubt about that.
And speaking about one of the best strikers in the game, Anthony Nash launches this one only to Josh Considine. Great catch from Considine in these conditions, plays it into the middle where Aaron Gillan has looked for. What a catch from Gillan. He's lost the hurley. Beautiful outside of the right foot pass into Jack Keller. This will be some score for Patrickswell, but he's put it to the right and wide. Would have been an excellent from Considine's catch into Gillan's catch. He lost the hurley as he so often does, but the finish wasn't from Jack Keller, and Jack, he'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, Jack will be disappointed. If I was Aaron Gillan, I'd be disappointed as well after, brilliant catch. We're used to Aaron catch like that, but he's a chance to avenge it here.
And it's Considine again here getting a shot away. Josh Considine, that's going to, well, even if it does go away, Anthony Nash decides to keep it in play, and it's a chance for a former Cork netminder, to launch this one. Could be his last game for South Liberties, as well as he will join up with the Cork under-20 management team next year. But back will play. It's going to be a free to Patrickswell. Hand on the back again.
Yeah.
I think is the call from referee John O'Halloran.
I suppose that point there about Anthony, I suppose there's more scope in the split season that he could do both, but it would be taxing travelling to Cork under 20 training and playing for South Liberties. But I'm sure if the body will let him, he'll continue away with it.
No doubt about it. Burns delivers this one, holds up in the wind a little bit. Out comes Michael O'Brien, flicked away from him, and it's back there now with Owen Quilty. Quilty plays it across to Brian Ryan, who's certainly having a roving role so far, and this side plays it up the line towards Conor McSweeney. Ken Burns trying to win it now for Patrickswell. Over there as well is David O'Neill, but it's Tom Nolan, Kelvin Lynch that help out Patrickswell, and away comes Dermot Burns into the middle to Kelleher, back to Burns again, off his left over to Shawnee O'Brien. Despite the conditions, Patrickswell still playing their game, goes high with it to Shawnee O'Brien. It's a very deliberate ball into Gillan, unable to catch this one now, but he's still looking to win it. Advantage coming, clear pull on the hurley of Aaron Gillan, and a chance for Gillan, Jack, to pop this one over. But a very deliberate tactic, as we've seen twice now from Patrickswell. He's starting right wing, but he's very much veering in as well at full forward. Yeah,
and they're vacating the space inside there. Patrick Kirby and Tom O'Brien are going in and coming out, and when you've a player like Aaron Gillan, if you can get him one-on-one inside there, why wouldn't you? And why wouldn't you exploit his ability in the air? And it's probably cute there from South Liberties, because Aaron would have been in on goal, but he has a chance now from a free.
It's a Gillan free, just waiting here for a ball
and a towel.
John O'Halloran, I think, indicating here over to Mike Sexton that we're playing with the wrong ball here. I think there was a little trying to get a fresh ball in by Patrickswell's sideline.
Yeah, and you wouldn't blame him.
Aaron Gillan's been told to use the match ball.
Yeah. And look, the way the rain is so heavy that ball is going to get wet very quickly, and it's going to get heavy. And that this is what you consider an easy free, but in these conditions there's no easy free, like a slip of the grip or anything like that, and it's going to go wide, and it'll probably be a low scoring game with the weather conditions, so every one of these frees will matter for a lot.
Aaron Gillan slots that one with regular accuracy. It's Patrickswell into the lead for the first time, Jack.
Yeah, first time into the lead, and look, South Liberties did start very well, but I suppose since they got that hook on Barry Nash, which would have been a definite score on 21, South Liberties haven't really managed to get an attack going, and Kevin O'Brien's after winning there from the puck out. Yeah,
looks for his brother Tom. It's a good pick up from Tom O'Brien, and he's on the go. Always this could be danger. Gets the pass away. It's Patrick Kirby. Goal chance, goes low. Brilliant save by Nash, and added to there by Owen Godfrey as well. Godfrey did brilliantly to clear it off the lines. A great save from Nash. Good low shot from Patrick Kirby, but it was going into the back of the net if it wasn't for the intervention of Owen Godfrey.
Yeah, brilliant there by Owen Godfrey, and that's what you're telling all your defenders, is to follow in the ball. I think Anthony gets a touch on it to slow it down. But excellent play there in the build-up by Patrickswell there. Clever from Patrick Kirby to pull away. He had seen that Tom had opened up the middle of the space, that someone was going to have to come to him. He pulled out. Brilliant save by Anthony Nash, and excellent work by Owen Godfrey. But Dermot Burns still has a chance to make it a score, from this 65. And again, you wouldn't back against him.
Oh, Dermot Burns 1 from place ball so far in this game. As Jack Neville mentioned, you're not going to find too many better strikers of a ball despite the conditions. Dermot Burns takes so much pride and care and ease, but of course, as we say, that just slides off the hurley. It's another wide for Patrickswell. And Jack, you mentioned it with Aaron Gillan's free on the 21. All it takes is a little slip and there's a problem. Yeah,
you can tell that's purely caused by the weather there. Like, how many times have we seen Dermot strike a ball badly? You can count him on one hand in the 5 or 6 years we've seen him play with Limerick. But Jack Keller makes up for it there. And the puck out for South Liberties just going a bit awry so far. That's 3 or 4 in a row they've lost. Anthony's going long again down the middle, probably towards Barry Nash would be the best option, but Dermot Burns is there. And David O'Neill doing very well as well to try and put a bit of pressure on. Barry goes with it, tries to flick his hand. David O'Neill nearly gets it in his hand as he tries to plough through the Patrickswell defence. Ken Burns is in there as well, but out comes Shawnee O'Brien under pressure. Shawnee gets it in hand, uses his trademark pace and flicks it into the middle towards Jack Keller. Keller switches play, looking for Patrick Kirby, just misjudges it slightly. Doesn't matter though, as Aaron Gillan gets in there, gets it back to Kirby. Gillan says, I'll have that myself, into Kevin O'Brien. If he got into his hand, there's a chant of goal. He's still going though. Kirby tries to take it off him. O'Brien still has it for Patrickswell, finds the brother Tom O'Brien with the shot. Excellent score from Patrickswell. Yeah, very good score there, and it just looks like Patrickswell are very close to opening up a couple of times there. There was a good flick twice there by South Liberties, but Kevin O'Brien, his brother Tom, they're going straight for goal when they can. And again, Jack Keller drops deep and delivers the ball in early, and there's an ocean of space between the full back line for South Liberties and we'll say midfield. Just too much space for the forwards Patrickswell have.
Yeah, 5 points to 2 now for Patrickswell as Dermot Burns gets fouled over on that far side by Barry Nash. I think it was Barry Nash, a combination of Barry Nash and David O'Neill, but it's going to be a free that's taken quickly here, and it's coming short to Jack Keller. He's got Josh Considine with him. Jack's going to go for it himself. He's hit a couple wide, one officially, but that one's gone to the right and wide. And Jack will be disappointed. Patrickswell will be disappointed, as there were several other options there for him.
Yeah, and that's lucky for South Liberties, because Jack Keller is picking up an awful lot of ball. I think they just need someone to go in and mark him, because he missed, and he's missed a couple, but he will find the target. Like, there's, he's another brilliant striker of the ball, and here he's open in the middle, and I wouldn't be surprised if it gets to him. It's a player down there. Yeah,
play stopped here by John O'Halloran for a head injury. I think it's Tom Nolan on that far side.
Yeah,
wearing number 7, playing at right half back. So rightly stopped by the referee as well.
I just, on that point there on Jack Keller, I just think South Liberties need someone to pick him up. I think Brian Ryan is kind of making a gesture there to someone that he has to be picked, because he's probably fulfilling the Keane Lynch role there, and your centre forward. I know he's wearing 8, but he is playing as a centre forward, and he's dropping deep. And he's dropping deep, which makes more space in the forward line. So he's definitely one that needs to be picked. Brian Ryan seems to be on him now, but he has Josh Considine and Jack Keller either side. It's kind of pick your poison there.
Yeah, it's Brian Ryan is still telling someone that someone, or intimating that someone needs to come in here. There's going to be a blood sub here as well. Tom Nolan has a bit of a cut, maybe. We're double checking. No blood sub coming as of yet. Tom Nolan's okay. Come on, there's going to be an indirect free here for Dermot Burns after that stoppage.
Do you play for a pass here, or do you just launch it in and hope for the best?
Launch it towards Aaron Gillan is what I do, but he finds Jordan Higgins. Good take from Higgins. Had a very good year so far for Patrickswell in his first year of championship. It's flicked in by Kevin O'Brien. Gillan just couldn't get it into his hand. Chance for South Liberties to clear, and it's going to be a free out for South Liberties. Anthony Nash will come out. A little bit of jostling, Jack, but nothing in it.
No, nothing in it there. And, very close there again from Kevin O'Brien. A flick around the corner, just sprinted away from a small bit, but brilliant ball here by Jordan Higgins. That crossfield ball is just so hard to defend, and you've seen it in goals, first hand. That, there's very little that defenders can do if a good crossfield ball comes in. And again, as I said, Patrickswell just look like they're threatening. South Liberties are really struggling to get, possession from their own puck outs. And again, Anthony has, it's as good as a puck out here. I don't think he'll have the distance from here, judging by the last one. So that's what you do. He's going to go long.
John O'Halloran having a little chat with Aaron Gillan as well there. Just not happy with something. I think there was messing around with a hurley. Of course, Aaron on a yellow as it is, so he'd have to be careful here. I think he may have got his final warning there too, Jack. So
it's early in the day to get your final warning. But look, if you're South Liberties and you're seeing this, you're going to have to get in close to Aaron and not hope that he does something, but when a fella's on the yellow, you're going to have to put pressure on him, and you see it every day in sports. Once you put yourself into the book, you are put in your position to get a second one, but Aaron has the class to avoid something like that.
Yeah, South Liberty's missing a chance there through Brian Ryan to get one back here as Kevin O'Brien takes off down the left wing, gets the strike away. It's going to drop short. Anthony Nash comes off his leg. Good take from the South Liberties keeper to clear. The hand pass isn't great though. Well read by Aaron Gillan. Gillan is on his way, flicks it across the edge of the square. Tom O'Brien comes in. Didn't get a full strike in a Tom O'Brien. He'd be very disappointed with that finish. Well capable of scoring these. But that one's gone to the left and wide, Jack. There's been a couple of sniffs of goals here for Patrickswell.
Yeah, and
they're well in control of the game, it has to be said, though.
And I'd imagine Tom, as he was coming to it, was thinking, will I go first time or will I catch it? And in hindsight, probably should have caught it. But he has the ability to strike that first time. But a brilliant pick out by Aaron Gillan there. Just first of all to intercept Anthony Nash, flick out, but also to find his men there when probably could have put it over. But then again, in hindsight, should he just put it over and keep that scoreboard ticking? But I mean, it is 5 points to 2. Patrickswell have been well on top for the last 10 or so minutes. So I think when they can just keep the scoreboard ticking over, and goals will naturally come.
Yeah, 5-2 in favour of Patrickswell here. It was David Gary that was receiving a bit of attention there. This one played down the line. Mark Carmody's there first though. Lovely quick hand pass, gets it off to Tom O'Brien. O'Brien under pressure And the shot comes in, it's going to drop around Aaron Gillan as well. Anthony Nash is off his line. Good bit of defending back there, but Anthony Nash is caught. Another shot, Nash gets a block and it falls to Gillan once more. Looks back outside. Kevin O'Brien's under pressure. Good work over there by Michael O'Brien on this occasion. It's David Gary that leaves that one, just shepherds it out wide, but I think it's David Gary back there, detailed to mark Aaron Gillan. He did a fairly good job of it there.
Yeah, he did. He got him to the floor, that's the main thing. But, you know, they're being a bit lax back there, South Liberties, and another puck out gone astray, and Patrickswell are going to take advantage of these.
Yeah, and Jack Keller looking to do just that. Second point for Jack Keller. Another intercepted puck out. Anthony Nash really just not firing on all cylinders back there. Maybe down to conditions either way. Jack, another one. Jack Keller should score the majority of them.
Yeah, and looking out there, you know, there isn't a great deal of movement as well. Like, a goalie is only as good as the players out there, and he's gone short out here to his cornerback on Quilty. But Quilty goes long, then, you know, you're putting it between players. Barry Nash breaks onto the ball. There's a scramble. I'd say the ball could be thrown in here by John in a second.
Yeah, it's 5 points handled on the ground there by South Liberties. 5 points in a row for Patrickswell, showing their dominance. There could have been a couple of goals as well in there as Dermot Burns. Well, they were looking. Jason Gillan was running down the right wing looking for a quick one, but not going to be let happen by John O'Halloran.
The goalkeeping game has changed. Did you ever find yourself out in the 45, John?
Wouldn't make it back in, Jack, so I wouldn't even try it.
Yeah. But,
and any of my fellow clubmates listening to this, they'll be quick in with a text to let you know exactly what would happen. But no, it has changed, Jack. You're seeing it more and more, keepers flying off their line at club and inter-county level. I'm still back in the dark ages though, and I'm happy to be there.
But on that free there again, you know, that's sort of ruck. That's how Liberties are winning the first 5 minutes of the game. That the, you know, momentum has completely turned, and for Liberties, they just probably need to win a free or something, slow it down, get a score.
It's Dermot Burns strikes this one again. There's a tail on that, falls to the right and wide. Patrickswell missing several chances in this game, but they're still very comfortable leading, as Jack Neville mentioned, by those 3 points, 5 in a row. So Liberties leading 2 points to 1, but it's Patrickswell that have scored all the scores since that 5th minute score. It's 15 minutes without a point for South Liberties as we hit the 20.5 minute mark here in Kilmallock. Shane O'Neill looks to find Barry Cooney with that pass. Cooney on the run now. Had a fine year for South Liberties, needs a bit of help. Decides to deliver it inside. Well, it was an attempted shot. Ken Burns is the only man in there from South Liberties' point of view, and he's not going to get to that as Dermot Burns takes the hand pass from Jason Gillan up towards Tom O'Brien. Loose man back there is Michael O'Brien. He's going to get there first. Finds David Gary with it. Liberties now just trying to get something going. Brian Ryan could have had the shot, gives it outside instead to his brother Tom. Tom has a go himself. That one is going to drift. David O'Neill will do well to keep it in. He's lost the hurley, but David O'Neill still keeps it in play. Needs help and he needs it quickly. He's battling still, David O'Neill. Great bit of work. Ken Burns comes out, gives him a hand, looks for a bit of help. Does Ken Burns, gets the hand pass to Barry Cooney. Cooney gets the shot away. Be a very much needed score for South Liberties. Barry Cooney has provided good work inside from David O'Neill, chasing a lost cause. Ken Burns helped him out, found the pass to Barry Cooney. Brilliant score.
Yeah, excellent score there, and you know, huge credit to David O'Neill for keeping that ball in play, because bit of a pot shot there from Tom Ryan. We know he has the ability to do it, but he was very far out. It looked like he was going wide. Probably the conditions helped him to slow the ball, didn't go over the in line, and that could be the boost here. But if they just have to ensure the Patrickswell don't go up the other end of the field and score.
Yes, Kevin O'Brien with a beautiful pick-up as Patrickswell tried to make it a 4-point game yet again. Josh, again, just a little bit off balance and rushing this one. Another wide for Patrickswell. 6 points to 3, Jack, but that score for South Liberties should inspire them at least a little bit.
Yeah, and Patrickswell, the wide tally now is getting worrying for them, because you'd imagine South Liberties will hit a purple patch in this game, and the last thing you want is turn around and say all those chances we missed, we'll say, in the first 20 minutes, because there has been an awful lot of wides from Patrickswell and a lot of careless wides.
And Barry Nash going up for this one. It's him that gets a hand on it but can't make a clasp inside the fingers. And it's going to be a sideline ball for Tom Nolan and Patrickswell. Brian Ryan now definitely back in midfield, marking Jack Kelleher and Barry Cooney. There's a loose man around. They're looking to get Brian Ryan loose. It's not happening at the moment as Tom Nolan provides a very, very good sideline ball. Up goes Gillan and up goes Patrick Kirby. It's Kirby that has it. He hasn't scored as to yet. Flicks it outside to Jack Keller, who's looking for a third score. Jack Keller, brilliant block down by the aforementioned Brian Ryan. And again, another little boost to South Liberties.
Yeah, you know, that can get the crowd going there. Because you'd imagine Jack Keller from out there, you know, he's very, I know he's missed a few today, but he is very accurate. So the last thing Ryan will want to see him is put over a sideline here for Patrick Kirby. But he has the capability. gone to the right and wide there. But yeah, look, that should give him a boost. Another wide. That's 3 wides in the trot to go with a few blocks and a score from South Liberties. So like 6-3. I'm sure South Liberties management will be delighted with that scoreline, considering the play that we've had and the lack of possession they have had so far. So Patrickswell, as I said, these wides will rack up and South Liberties will hit a purple patch.
Yeah, it's Nash again. He's going to that far side again. Not the greatest strike in the world. Barry Nash goes to win it though. It's good work from Barry with the strike, and Barry Nash will score them all day long. 2-point game.
Yeah, and you can hear from the crowd the second the sliotar left the hurley, that was straight over the bar. And look, 2-point game. Like, this game could be out of sight if Patrickswell had been as accurate as South Liberties, but they're making hay when they're getting their chances. They're not getting many of them, but a brilliant score by Barry. But Josh Considine in oceans of space.
Josh Considine hits it, and again it's a poor strike from Josh Considine, and John O'Mara, the Patrickswell manager, won't be happy with what he's seen from his charges when it comes to accuracy in front of goals again in this game. Yet again a free shot, Jack, and it's gone to the right and wide.
I know every player on the pitch is well capable of scoring from anywhere, but a player of Josh Considine's calibre to left in his own there, and Brian Ryan made the point there that they have to talk to each other. I don't know, have they a sweeper or not a man marking system, but just put a man on Josh Considine because he will cause damage.
A big hit from Tom Ryan there on John Flynn. And Flynn has not come off well on that head injury, says the referee. John O'Halloran was happy with the initial challenge. Looked good from my angle here. Yep. Won't have any complaints with that. You don't want to see too many stoppages, even on a day like this where you have to be that little bit more cautious. But I think John Flynn just winded a bit and said it's a head injury, but you think he's just coming off second best from a big hit. And
look, it's a great opportunity. It could be a cuteness here from John Flynn to get the Patrickswell management in there and just say to lads, steady up. Because to be fair to Josh Considine there, he had more time. He could have brought the ball in. He could have given the ball in. Like they have. When the ball's gone to Aaron Gillane and Tom O'Brien and Patrick Kirby, they have done very well with it, but they've taken a lot of shots from out the field. I think there's a lot of people on the field here, a lot of messages gone in, and probably with about 8 minutes, or I suppose with added time, probably 6-7 minutes to go on the half, will we see more accuracy from Patrickswell.
A low ball from Dermot Burns into Jack Kelleher again, into Josh Considine. Will he have a go again? Josh Considine does have a go, does go to the right and wide again. Whatever messages went in from Owen Foley and Ross Corbett and the rest of the Patrickswell management team, well, they certainly didn't work in that play again. It's very difficult to be shooting from long range. The rain has stopped, Jack, effectively stopped, but they're still taking these chances from long range. It's not working out.
And you don't want to be giving out about a player because Josh has been very good today, but he, as a player of that quality, should know, look, I've missed a couple in a row. I shouldn't take this one, give the ball into the forwards. What a catch there by Dermot Burns.
Stunning play from Dermot Burns. Jordan Higgins then picks it up, but he's intercepted. Barry Nash right in front of us here has that shot. It's just going to drop to the left and wide off his weak, or if he has a weak side, off his right. Jack, it popped up, he had to have a go for it.
Yeah.
So Liberties are living at times on scraps here as Mark Carmody plays it to Jack Kelleher. Kelleher's going for the long one, and Jack Kelleher has the accuracy in this occasion. It's gone to the right and wide. Jack, I'm sick of saying it, you're sick of saying it. Patrickswell need to move the ball in, surely.
Yeah, these players are far too experienced to be making decisions like that. I know Mark Carney made a brilliant run there off Jack Kelleher, and you can hear him up here in the gantry calling for the sliotar, so I'm sure Jack wanted it. But when you get that much possession, when you miss, you want to score. But sometimes it works against you, and it's certainly doing that against Patrickswell. They just want to get on the scoreboard, but need to play more, I suppose, clever. But he's in the mildest space here in the middle again.
Mike Keane gets in the challenge though on Tom O'Brien, and Tom wasn't overly happy. Mike Keane has made a very good career for himself with South Liberties with those kind of just little flicks away from guys in midfield, and worked out again there. But this will only fuel South Liberties' confidence, Jack, that they're in this game. Patrickswell just so inefficient in front of goal.
Yeah, I think South Liberties are robbing Peter to play Paul by playing a sweeper in front of Aaron Gillane, because it's allowing Jack Kelleher free, because generally they don't want Dermot Burns free to the other end, so he's been picked by Barry Nash. So it's actually kind of midfield player that's been left open in Jack Kelleher. He's in an ocean room here again in the middle. He's not gonna score when the ball's at the end of the field, but it will come to him eventually. But I think South Liberties need to have a look at that and really put a plan in place for Jack Kelleher and Josh Considine in midfield.
Indeed they do at this stage. Yeah, it's free there, foul on Owen Quilty. Anthony Nash just outside his own 21 metre line as the rain didn't stay dry for long, Jack. It's teeming down once more here in Kilmallock. 28 minutes nearly played of the Sponsor Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship quarter-finals. Patrickswell leading 6 points to 4, straight down the middle there First man to it was John Flynn. It's broken in there by David O'Neill. Battle for possession. O'Neill's not going to give it up easy, but Patrickswell getting a couple of boots in to flick it away from goal initially. Sean O'Brien then coming away with a brilliant work from Sean O'Brien. So good on these occasions. Tom Ryan putting him under pressure. Great work from Tom Ryan with that bit of pressure. Hand pass comes to Aaron Gillan. O'Gillan tries to switch it over towards Kevin O'Brien and Jordan Higgins. Higgins goes on the run, but O'Brien catches it. Michael O'Brien there, surely with a pull in the back. The ref says play away. Kevin O'Brien's happy to do so. The foul comes in. Kevin O'Brien puts it over the bar. The whistle had gone beforehand though, and it's going to be a free in to Patrickswell.
Kevin O'Brien.
But Jack, you just sorry to cut across you. They deliver the ball in. Kevin O'Brien catches it, and they end up with a relatively straightforward free in front of goals.
Yeah, Kevin O'Brien must be a nightmare to mark because he has no intention of going for a point whenever he gets the ball. He's kind of like Conor Callan for the Dublin footballers, head down, straight for goal, and worst case scenario, gets the point. He does actually score a point there, but you correctly said John had blown the whistle because there was a lot of fouls. But look, we've both said it. If you can get the ball into that inside forward line, that's what causing damage. And Aaron had the ball out there, and he's well capable of scoring from out there. We'll probably consider the conditions, considering all the wides. Let's get it closer to goal, and he'll break their duck now here with a relatively simple free.
Free for Aaron Gillan. May go for it. Decides to just send it over. No messing around. 29.5 minutes played. It's Aaron Gillan free for Patrickswell. Puts them into 7 points to 4 lead. 3 points in it, Jack. 3 minutes of added time, I'm led to believe as well. But South Liberties will be relatively happy with the way things are going.
Yeah, definitely happy. Considering they probably won't be happy with aspects of their play, but they'll definitely be happy with the scoreline considering how they've played, with the lack of possession they've got. And that's, they didn't necessarily win the puck out there, but won a free from the puck out. So for me, that's a win, and it's been a long time since they won a puck out. So
yeah, Conor McSweeney breaking that ball down. Brian Ryan going onto it after that, and Tom O'Brien just couldn't help himself, pushing it back. Blatant one, a tricky one for Barry Nash though to take it. He's scored the 2 he's had so far.
Yeah, there's a water carrier over there with a towel for him. It's how long it takes from the towel going away to actually striking the ball will play a part there. But you mentioned Conor McSweeney. He started inside full forward. He's coming out now. He hasn't been able to get into the game, and he'd be a key man for South Liberties. So he helped break the puck out there. Even if he came out to win a few puck outs, it'd be a formidable line there if they played how they were named with Barry, Conor, and Tom Ryan in the half forward line. Barry's line-up strike.
Hits this one, does Barry Nash, and has it got the desired effect. It's gone to the left and wide. Just didn't really strike it brilliantly, Jack. Held up in the wind.
Lost the hurley as well as he was striking the ball. Definitely just down to the wetness of the hurley. But you saw when he swung, just he had one hand on the hurley, which was definitely not the intention. But in these conditions, you couldn't help it.
Patrick Kirby winning this one, plays it back to Shawnee O'Brien. O'Brien now off his left. Beautiful strike from Shawnee O'Brien. That's what Patrickswell have tried to do. One of their defenders just shows, lads, this is how we do it here.
Exactly, your cornerback went up and saying, lads, I'm sick of seeing you taking your shots. I'm going to show you how it's done. And look, that should be a score to settle after South Liberties missed a free, which Barry has been nailing all game so far. Just double whammy to miss at one end and concede at the other, and a double points lead now.
Heading towards Conor McSweeney with this puck out again. Breaks it, does McSweeney towards Barry Cooney. 1 point to his name, but John Flynn is in a flash here. Gary Cooney has won the loose ball though, tried to get away from the trouble he's in there, has been fouled. The arms coming across there from one of the Patrickswell players. Josh Considine, I think, is the man singled out by referee John O'Halloran, but it's another chance here for Barry Nash to reduce it to 3 yet again.
Yeah, and again Conor McSweeney broke it. And John Flynn did actually very well to win back the ball, but Gary Cooney ferocious there in winning the ball, and probably a soft-ish free, John.
It's the free hand, I think, is the call from the referee.
John O'Halloran is one of the premier refs in Limerick, and I'm sure we'll see him on the county scene at some stage, so I'll back him any day of the week, whatever decision he calls. But this is a big free for Barry.
Big free, 20 seconds, or 2.5 minutes nearly, I should say, played of added time at the end of the first half of this senior hurling championship quarter final. A few metres away from the 65, Barry Nash, right in front of us here in the commentary box in Fitzgerald Park, Kilmallock, as Nash strikes this one. And does it have the accuracy? It's a lot better, but it's caught by Dermot Burns right on the crossbar. Barry just tried to get the accuracy there, but Nash has come in, interception here, chance for Conor McSweeney. He's punished it. Well read by Conor McSweeney. He had an open goal, Jack. His hands are on his head. Yeah. Big chance for South Liberties, and Conor McSweeney takes the point. I don't think he went for the point though.
No, it's kind of, it was a clean strike over the bar, but you could see by his reaction straight away, and that's your new goalie there. That's the way the goalie game's been played. But it does open up chances, and how big would that have been, John, if you went in a point down, if it was reading 1-8 to 1-4. But look, it's a score. Connor has definitely come into the game, and the last 5 or 10 minutes, on Barry's free before it, that it led to, you could see straight away the ball was influenced by the wind. It was moving and swirling. Dermot did very well to catch it on the line. After that, not so much. But look, it's a let-off for Patrickswell, but to be fair, South Liberties have got a lot of let-offs on the other end, so it's probably evening up in that regard.
Half-time here in Kilmallock in the Bon-Secours Hospital, Limerick Senior Hurling Championship quarter-final. It's Patrickswell leading South Liberties by 8 points to 5. Join us for the second half shortly. Welcome back to Kilmallock for the second half of the Sponsecures Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship quarter-final clash here. Delighted to be joined by Jack Neville for the second half again. Jack, you know, it's been a tough one at times, maybe a tough watch at times, well, given the conditions, but, you know, like South Liberties are still in this, down 8 points to 5 at half time, but they're certainly still in with a shot here.
Yeah, it's a huge contrast from their quarter-final last, and I hate to bring up all these games from last year, but when they scored 5 goals, you know, 8 points to 5, you know, and it's down to conditions. And at the start of the first half, it's pretty much the same picture. It's dry here now, but I'm sure we will get some rain. But yeah, look, Liberties will have to say at half time, lads, we didn't perform at all, and we are a 1 score away from Patrickswell. Similarly, Patrickswell will be thinking, if we can just get our accuracy in front of goal going, we should beat this South Liberties team and beat them well. But you know, an interesting 30 minutes ahead, John.
Back underway here. There's been a sub at half time by South Liberties. Number 9, John Hickey, is in for Mike Keane, so that's a like-for-like replacement here as Patrickswell are immediately on the attack here. Good defensive work though from South Liberties, and a thrown ball, is it? Or they go out over the sideline, Jack?
South Liberties ball, yeah. I think Patrick might have been thrown over the sideline there, but benefit of the doubt goes with South Liberties. And you know, sometimes you need to get the benefit of these calls. And we're in play again. John Hickey straight into the action.
He is indeed. A low pass to Brian Ryan, and on to Tom Ryan instead, into Barry Cooney. 1 point in the first half. Barry Cooney's looking for point number 2. Well hooked though by Mark Carmody, but Cooney continues to go in towards goal, and Carmody with the one-handed pull, left hand on the back as well from our vantage point here. And it's going to be a free in for Barry Nash, and a 2-point game, Jack, as you'd expect Barry Nash to pop this one straight over the bar.
Yeah, and very fortunate there for Barry Cooney. He got hooked, but it actually worked in his favour. But excellent build-up play down the line. Brian Ryan into Tom Ryan, and then excellent pass into Cooney, and he found the afterburners. And lovely way for Barry to start the second half. He had a hard one in the first half, but he'll be relishing this, and there'll be no other way, but it'll be 8-6 after this free.
3 points in the first half. Barry Nash, and that's free number 3 in the game as well. So just over a minute played the second half, and it's a 2-point game.
2-point game, and ideal start from South Liberties as Jason Glenn gets us underway, and he goes long.
It goes long, holds up in the breeze there. David Gary onto it ahead of Jordan Higgins, and battle for possession on the ground in the ruck. Both sides battling to win it. Plenty of bodies in the line there, and it's come away, and it's Conor McSweeney had a good finish to the first half there, and there's a push on the back by Jordan Higgins on Michael O'Brien. Very easy decision again for John O'Halloran there, but South Liberties have come out with renewed vigour, Jack.
Yeah, and Anthony Nash obviously feels this is well within his range, because the second it was given as a free, he was coming out there. And so often when we see Patrickswell and there's a ruck and number 11 with white helmet comes out, it's Keane Lynch. But fair play to Conor McSweeney, you know. And that's how they started the first half again, John. It's a very similar pattern. I think they scored the first 2 points in the first half. Anthony will be hoping to do the same here now. But look, bring that intensity, because Patrickswell got a lot of it easy in the first half, and South Liberties will hate to say that they just didn't work hard enough or put enough pressure onto them.
And that one just drops to the left and wide from Anthony Nash. Very, very difficult conditions here in Kilmallock this afternoon. A complete opposite from what we saw in the other quarter final yesterday, as Jason Gillan launches this one over that far side, aiming at Jordan Higgins, breaks it down for himself. There's Jordan looking for a bit of help now. Good work back there from Owen Godfrey, the Liberties captain. They've turned it over. McSweeney has it into Tom Ryan. Tom Ryan, without looking, has hit that one on the volley, and well, you could see why he tried it, but just didn't come off.
Yeah, he's the ability to do it, and you know, that would have been a video that was clipped for so many years to come. It would have been a brilliant score, but unlucky for Tom Ryan, because he did everything right, but wayward pass there by Jason Glenn, and print time here for Owen Godfrey.
A good dummy from Owen Godfrey. He's under pressure, well hooked by Patrick Kirby. Might work out towards David O'Neill. O'Neill's to it first, but Shawnee O'Brien has pickpocketed him, and O'Brien's on the run here for Patrickswell. Finds the hand pass to Tom Nolan. Tom Nolan is going to deliver this one. It's in towards Aaron Gillan. It's a good ball in from Nolan too. Holds up on the surface here. Hurley's there in front of down on Aaron Gillan. Chop is the signal by John O'Halloran, much to the chagrin of the South Liberties defenders. But it's a chance either way for Aaron Gillan to pop it over the bar for Patrickswell's first scored half.
Yeah, I think very unlucky there from Brian Nash. I think he was coming across and Aaron was bringing his hurley up, and that's how it looked like a chop. But I think it was very unlucky, because, you know, Brian did well to stay with Aaron. We've seen a lot of inter-county defenders tormented by him, but he's gone in full forward. I think that'll be the key for Liberties to realise he's inside there. And you know, Tom Nolan did the right thing. He saw Aaron. He said, I'm going to play him, and it's going to result in a score here and kind of stem that South Liberties tide.
Gillan nails this one. Third point of the game for him. Just over 4 minutes of the second half played, and Patrickswell have restored their 3-point advantage.
As I look out here for the puck out, Josh Constantine and Jack Keller are both free again. But Anthony's able to get it over the top of the two of them.
Sean O'Brien gets there first up, bats it only into the path of John Hickey, that half-time substitute for South Liberties. Sean O'Brien with another block, but it's Conor McSweeney that's come away with it. McSweeney now plays this one inside towards David O'Neill. O'Neill under pressure from Kelvin Lynch, and clearly on the back there, and it's going to be a chance for Barry Nash to send this one over again.
Again, Conor McSweeney is winning ball, primary possession from puck outs. Clever pass there, and David O'Neill did very well to, I suppose, hold up possession, and it was a foul in there, and Barry can bring us back to a 2-point game. But definitely a better start from South Liberties as opposed to Patrickswell. And I think with the conditions kind of calming down, Anthony Nash has the ability to puck it over the half-back line of Patrickswell, and that's always a dangerous thing for a defence.
And Nash makes no mistake. Another one for him. 5th overall for Barry Nash in this game, and another one for South Liberties. 9 points to 7 here in Kilmallock.
Gillan goes short, and they're going to try and work this one out, but it's going to be turned over here. Tom Ryan working very hard down the sideline.
Yeah,
kicked out by Tom Nolan.
Yeah, it's going to be a sideline ball to South Liberties here.
You'll fancy this.
Yeah, Ken Burns and Tom Ryan ensuring Patrickswell struggled to clear that one. That's going to be Tom Ryan. We saw him try one in the first half, dropped short, if memory serves correctly.
And with Gillan at one end, Barry has gone in full forward for South Liberties. You know, he saw it to devastating effect last year. He scored a lot of goals inside there.
Yes, Tom Ryan delivers this one. It's going to be kept in play. Patrickswell hurley on it over on that far side. Brian Ryan, David O'Neill in there as well. Plenty of players slipping. And well, over on that far side, Sean O'Brien's in there, and John Flynn as well for Patrickswell. Plenty of South Liberties players in there, and a battle comes. John O'Halloran may end up throwing this one in. David O'Neill has come out with it. Tom O'Brien gets afflicted only as far as John Hickey. I think that's there. It's Hickey gets the strike away. It's a poor enough one. Isn't even going to go wide as Jason Glenn keeps him play right sided. Plays it up the line to Tom Nolan. Nolan has it. Tries to get away from Tom Ryan, clears it away, does Tom Nolan, but only as far as Barry Cooney. Good pick up from Cooney here, flicks it inside to Michael O'Brien, but Patrickswell and Jordan Higgins have it. Higgins has options, one of them Tom O'Brien, but he plays it inside to Aaron Gillan instead. Gillan, beautiful touch, plays it to himself. He's looking around, eventually goes back to Tom O'Brien. O'Brien has a good touch but doesn't get the catch. David Gary is there in a flash. O'Brien still battling for it for Patrickswell, but there's two, Brian Ryan and David Gary, and it's last hit. The Patrickswell man, I think, is a signal from Patsy Coffey over there, and it's going to be a sideline ball to South Liberties.
Yeah, right thing by Jordan Higgins there to give the ball into Aaron. I know it didn't work out, but Tom O'Brien was wide open across him, but he probably thought, I'm in as good position as you with a man closing down, and we have another chance here, and definitely within Anthony Nash's range, and you'd fancy him to get off the mark in terms of scoring from this one. But again, huge work rate from South Liberties, and this could bring it back to a 1-point game, John.
Yeah, only level once in this game at 2 points apiece. Patrickswell scored 5 now. He's gone quick with it, straight to Brian Ryan. Chance here for Brian Ryan, and he's popped it straight over the bar. Well worked score. Caught Patrickswell napping on that occasion, and that's the first score of the game for Brian Ryan. Yeah. Lovely worked, Jack.
And a nice roar from the crowd there as well. There's obviously a nice South Liberties contingent here, and they've definitely started well on top here. They're winning that breaking ball.
Yeah, and that puck out going long towards Kevin O'Brien. Maybe called from the Patrickswell sideline about a hurley being played there, but Josh Constantine's done well to get away to Kevin O'Brien. O'Brien's on the run. John Hickey's there. O'Brien takes the option of popping it over the bar instead. And the point is given. Jack may have thought initially going for goal, as Kevin O'Brien always does. Took the right option.
Yeah, took the right option. Took the ball in as far as he could without, I suppose, getting tackled. But Josh Constantine, brilliant there. First of all, to win the ball, but 3 of him around him. They got into the floor, but brilliant to get a hand pass off, and probably something he learned inside in the Limerick camp there for a while. But David Gary is down here. He's up again. He's taking a breather. I don't blame.
Yeah, very difficult conditions as we keep mentioning here. As South Liberties make a sub inside, Ken Burns departing the scene for them. Just waiting to see who's gone on there for Brian Ryan's side.
I think it could be Brian Gary.
Yeah, Brian Gary wearing 14, I think, is the man who's come on. We'll confirm that as soon as we can here. Either way, back with play. Sideline ball for Patrickswell. over on that far side. And Sean O'Brien with a beautiful cut up towards the brother Tom. He's going to break though for Patrick Kirby, but good challenge there from Owen Godfrey. And away come Patrickswell, but John O'Halloran's going to stop it for a head injury. Challenge was fair according to the ref, but if a player's down with a head injury, Jack, he has to call it.
Yeah, and I think it was fair. Shoulder to shoulder, probably maybe a bit high. Could have shaken the head there, Pat Kirby, but Owen Godfrey now, that's a big shoulder, neither half. As I said from the captain, you want to lay down a marker, and it's going to be a case of how long can they sustain this for. It's into 10 minutes now, probably a bit longer than they did in the first half. And I suppose when a game is closer, 2 points in it's a lot easier to play with that intensity when you're close to a team. So all good so far from South Liberties, but it'll be interesting to see what John does here now. An indirect free, I'd imagine, John.
Yeah, indirect free would be the call. Nanty Nash certainly checking it. You can be sure he won't get away with the short one again this time around.
Yeah.
But either way,
I'd say he'll be dropping this in, and often someone gets that touch to make it.
Well, you've Barry Nash in there. You've David O'Neill moving around as well. Anthony Nash, he's gone low with a dangerous ball in. Barry Nash goes up, cuts the hand, hits the post, I think. There's a little flick to it from Barry Nash. Well, whether it was a hurley or whether it was a hand, it definitely would have counted as a goal, I'd imagine. But either way, Patrickswell have gotten away with that one. Chance now, they still haven't got a clear shot, comes in. It's well pulled on by David O'Neill, straight at Jason Gillan though. Gillan controlled the ball well and then finds Jordan Higgins with the clearance. A double let off maybe for Patrickswell, but South Liberty's goal would really turn this match on its head. Ball delivered there, Aaron Gillan with a foul. No, play on, says the referee, as Shane O'Neill plays this one across to Brian Ryan. Just doesn't get in the hand. Brian Ryan could be a vital one. Under pressure now from both Jordan Higgins and Patrick Kirby, and the foul goes South Liberty's way. But Jack, breathless stuff there inside the full forward. And what a dangerous delivery from Anthony Nash.
Yeah, beautiful delivery from Anthony Nash. Just to hit it with top spin, probably just over the height of the post, knowing someone will be able to get a touch onto it. As you said, it's hard to see what Barry did. Was his hand or a flick? As same again, I don't know, did Jason make a save? If he saves that, what a save, John. But it looked, by the way it came out, it hit the post, but he did have to make a save then moments later. But Anthony goes dropping in again, and these are dangerous times for Patrickswell.
Big ball in there. There's going to be a swing there, and Barry Nash got a flick to it. Tom Nolan tries it. Tom Ryan had it in his hand momentarily, but away come Patrickswell, and it's Nigel Foley, I think, that has done brilliantly there for Patrickswell. But there's a man down inside for South Liberties. It's Brian Gary wearing number 14. That is down. They just brought on moments ago, Brian Gary.
That ball could have gone anywhere, John, when it initially got flicked back up into the air. You know, and Liberties only needed to fall to the right man inside there. They are getting a lot more possession in the attack than they did in the first half. Conditions drying. Is this in Dermot's compass?
Well, it may be, but it will be an indirect free, so he can't score deliberately from. But judging by from what we just saw from Anthony Nash, you know, dangerous delivery like that. Yeah. There's going to be a substitute here, I think, for Patrickswell. Paddy Maher and Calvin Carroll are the ones lining up. Yeah, it's going to be Paddy Maher for Josh Considine, I think. Of course, Josh just back from
Mark Carmody.
It's Mark Carmody indeed that's coming off well. Mark Carmody, an outstanding championship for Patrickswell so far. Maybe not his best game today, but I have to say that one, it's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, definitely. I think if it wouldn't work in midfield, I'd move him back into the backs. But look, John O'Mara has seen these players 3 or 4 times a week, so he knows the calls to make.
Yeah, it's Patrickswell with it now, and that off-balance effort from Patrick Kirby. Anthony Nash leaves it go wide. So another wide for Patrickswell, first of the second half for them. And Anthony Nash goes short initially. He'll come back to him from Michael O'Brien. Anthony Nash now goes long with it. It's a long delivery. Dermot Burns is loose there. Up he goes, just gets a hurley on it. That'll do for the moment here. And Tom Nolan doing well here. It's out. It comes here, clearance by Patrickswell up towards Patrick Kirby. Barry Cooney has got to it first. Battle comes, and eventually should have fallen for Barry Nash, but John Kirby keeps going. Nash is in there as well. And another battle for possession on the ground. It's last hit of South Liberties, man, according to the linesman there, Mike Sexton. A little bit of a discussion there, and of course David Gary's gone down under something as well. So John O'Halloran just keeping things calm, telling everyone to get on with things. And it's Paddy Maher's going to get a card here maybe for that little... Yeah, yellow card for Paddy Maher there. I'm not quite sure, Jack. We didn't have a great view of it here, but...
No,
Must have been something off the ball as that ball went over the sideline. Paddy Maher as the man is just on the field. Paddy, as this one, John Flynn, not the greatest strike from Tom Nolan, gets it back down, delivers it long down the sideline, does Tom Nolan.
Gary.
And it's South Liberties trying to come away from it. Tom O'Brien has it further well, loses possession, then is battled in there, boxed in as well. And still Patrickswell ball though, and Patrick Kirby on the run with it. Would be an excellent score from Patrick Kirby. It goes to the left and wide. Angle very difficult, but Jackie didn't have too many options there either.
No, he didn't. Brilliant catch initially from David Gary, but just soft turnover of possession there. As you said, it was difficult for Pat Kirby, obviously going to there, but maybe could have turned around and tried to work it back. But sometimes when it goes over, you'd say it's a great score. So
Owen Godfrey delivering this one towards Brian Gary, delivering it long. Nigel Foley does well initially with that under pressure from Gary. It's a throw from Nigel Foley. It wasn't a good one. Chance for Barry Nash. Buries it for Liberties. A mistake in the Patrickswell defence. And Barry Nash buries it. And they're into a 1 point lead. It's Brian Ryan. Apologies, that's got the goal here. Thought it was Barry Nash. It was Brian Ryan sniffing around there for the mistake. And that's exactly that's happened. Brian Ryan with the goal and Liberties lead.
Yeah, Liberties are back ahead. Brilliant finish there by Brian. Just intercepted. Coolness then to turn inside. Shawnee Brian came in to nail him, just dodged that and finished low into the net. And it was game on before that, but certainly now Liberties will have renewed hope.
Yes,
Kevin
Liberties
O'Brien
into the
breaks
lead,
through
and Kevin
here.
O'Brien is away looking to immediately respond. It comes to Patrick Kirby. Kirby will level it, pops it over the bar. Has he? He hasn't. He's missed it. Huge miss there from Patrick Kirby. Liberties remain in front.
Yeah, we talked about double whammy in the first half. We saw Barry Nash miss a free and Patrickswell go up to the end and score, and very similar there. So Liberties get the goal and Patrick Kirby misses a shot. Every day of the week we expecting him to nail it. And momentum has certainly swung heavily in South Liberties' favour here.
And that has certainly thrown the cat amongst the pigeons here in Kilmallock, as that goal from Brian Ryan has really, really turned the game on its head here. They lead by 1-8 to 10 points here in the Bon Secours Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship quarter-final clash in Kilmallock. 16.5 minutes nearly played here, and it's South Liberties at the moment looking to pull off one of the biggest shocks in the championship in a long time. That ball's gone out over the sideline. Last hit the hurley there of John Hickey, I think it was. No, it was Owen Godfrey indeed. Indeed it wasn't. It was Brian Nash. I eventually got there.
Yeah, you got there. But very well done there to get in front of Aaron. Because look, he is the danger man. He hasn't got much ball in open play today. But I've seen Aaron cut it before. He's a brilliant strike.
Yeah, he was looking for Kevin O'Brien from that one. Doesn't work out though, as it's back there. No foul, says the referee, but Shane O'Neill still gets the pass away. Interception by Josh Considine from David Gary's pass. Owen Godfrey's in there to try and tidy up for Liberties, but it's going to be a battle on the ground. And of course, John O'Halloran not happy enough with that one, that it was developing and will be a throw-in ball as Shane O'Neill is down injured for South Liberties.
Yeah, I think Shane O'Neill probably should have got a free, but I think the way he went down probably changed John mind. He just getting a bit of treatment there. But so far so good for Liberties after the goal. That's the last thing you want to do after scoring a goal is to concede, and that's exactly what they've done. They've held it solid. I thought they should have had a sideline over there at the far side, but look, it was given in Patrickswell favour. I don't know, will this break here probably favour Patrickswell or South Liberties? Maybe both teams. Has been a very fast start to this half so far, an enjoyable start to this half, but the goal, it was just a bit of hesitation in defence kind of caused it. And Brian Ryan really pounced. I know it's hard for you on there with all the red helmets. I've never seen so many red helmets on one team, but I got very confused one day watching Brian Gary and Barry Nash playing together. Very similar size red helmets, but the ball is back in play now. And the finish on the left-hand side caught me as well, Jack. But either way, South Liberties won't care who got it. It was indeed, and that's going to be another throw, and it was indeed Brian Ryan. Very cool, clinical finish as well, it has to be said. A man of his stature, you would expect him to put chances away like that. That's exactly what he did to give South Liberties a 1 point lead here, and in a bit of control of this game. 1 point lead is what it is. That ball still battling in there. It's kicked out of the ruck, but Liberties have it, and it's Tom Ryan that's done brilliantly back there. I'm not sure what he's doing back there, but he's back there either way. Conor McSweeney going for it. John Flynn and Dermot Burns going for it as well from the Patrickswell side. It's just a battle all round here. David O'Neill comes in as well, and it's dropped back there by Flynn. The hand on the back there. Kelvin Lynch doing very, very well to secure that one, as Calvin Carroll about to come in for Patrickswell here.
Yeah, and so Liberties has done so well because it was
it was 4-on-2, if not 4-on-3 sometimes there, and they'd held it up and they were getting the support. But a soft free when you're tired like that so often happens. Jordan Higgins off for Calvin Carlin. Calvin is generally good for a score out at wing forward, and it'll be crucial for Patrickswell, who haven't scored in a while. And will Burnsy go for this?
Yeah, I think South Liberties are making a sub here as well. And it's Conor McSweeney's going to be moved back the field here.
McSweeney, I think.
Just waiting to see who's gone off here for South Liberties. And just a bit of confusion here. I think it's Shane O'Neill, the man that's gone off, just carrying an injury there. So the man on, we're just waiting to see who's come on for South Liberties. Can't quite see it here yet, but either way it's Shane O'Neill.
It's Brendan McSweeney is on there.
Brendan McSweeney.
And moved his brother back to the fence. And Diarmaid Burns, as easy as you'd like, from your own 45. What a strike there from Diarmaid, but there's shenanigans inside.
Yeah,
there's a man down, and Aaron had a yellow. And a lot of times the referee will just give 2 yellows if there's a situation like this. That would see him gone. He's pleading his innocence, but it'll be interesting to see what happens here, John, as we're level with 20 minutes and a half played.
Yeah, it's an interesting one here. Just waiting to see what develops here with the referee, John O'Halloran. He's going to talk to both umpires.
Anthony Nash was quick anyway to see what he saw. It's hard to see what a player down is. I think it might be Mike O'Brien. John O'Halloran is taking his time consulting everybody.
Yeah, I think John O'Halloran has made the call here. It was Brian Nash that's down. Nothing going on in that one according to the referee.
These are line on the advice of people closest to us. Anthony Nash is still protesting, but I suppose what's lost in all that is we're now level.
Yeah,
and the score from
more importantly, that monster free from Diarmaid Burns has the game level for the second time. Badly needed score for Patrickswell too, it must be said. As Anthony Nash gets us back underway, all to do about nothing there, Jack. In the Shamazel after that score from Burns. It's Burns coming out with it, just does enough to make sure Liberties don't win it. Sean O'Brien does half hooked in his attempted pass clearance. Battle for the ball again. It's South Liberties through Conor McSweeney. Gets the hand pass away. Hand pass again towards Barry Nash. He's got a shooting chance, does Barry Nash. No problem from Nash. Liberties lead once again.
Yeah, you can hear the roar of the crowd. They could see better than we could at the far side there. And the perfect response to South Liberties. Whatever happened in the goal mouth there, they were drawn level by Patrickswell, but Barry Nash puts in front of the game with his first score from play.
Second score from play, Jack, indeed, as this one goes out towards Patrickswell and Jack Keller. He's been fouled. I think it was the further one on Aaron Gillan. Conor McSweeney with the foul on Gillan. I think that's what it's for. Certainly wasn't anything there on Patrick Irving.
No, a bit of a receipt there. If anything happened in that goal mouth, Conor McSweeney was getting it back, and we're level now in that regard. But again, Aaron very likely to level things up here. And a soft score after Barry worked so hard to get the score at one end, you're pretty much giving a score back to Patrickswell. But nip and tuck, enjoyable, even though it's low scoring, very enjoyable for the neutrals. But again, hard to see Aaron missing from here.
Indeed, it is hard to see Aaron missing. 22 and a half minutes played of this Bon Secours Hospital. Second half of the Bon Secours Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship quarter final. Aaron Gillan with a chance to level this for the third time, and Gillan has done exactly that. So we've 7 minutes of ordinary time left, Jack. It's up in the air to say the least here.
Yeah, look, again, brilliant for the neutrals, and credit to both teams, because even though it's not raining, like, that pitch is going to be very heavy. Oh, Tom Ryan is clear on goal.
Tom Ryan has a chance.
No doubt in that. Once the ball drops,
to send that one. Just dropped it in the loose ball. Tom Ryan, first point of the game for him. Jack, he won't find too many either. Brilliant striker of the ball. Straight in front, 60 yards out, straight over.
Yeah, came on to that's what you want from your wing forwards, to be attacking that breaking ball here with Kevin O'Brien. But again, work rate up, spills out.
Yeah, and it's John Hickey that has it, and he's been hit hard there by Kevin O'Brien. Maybe a little discussion here, but John O'Halloran and Kevin O'Brien. Yeah,
the Patrickswell sideline are disputing that he was going down.
No, it's Josh Considine indeed that's going to be fingered for this one.
I don't think Josh had a sight of him clearly to be going at anything malicious. I think he was just running towards where the slitter broke, and look, he's a strong man. If he hits you, you know about it.
Yeah, big man. He certainly, maybe in the injuries, went to the gym a lot, Jack. He's certainly looking bigger than I've seen him in a while. Of course, a crack soccer player as well as Josh. with Fairview over the last couple of seasons is John Hickey.
Nash is asking about time.
He is, he's checking it. And
normal time to play.
6 to play. 24 on the clock, Jack. A melting pot yet again here. This would be some hell of a surprise if South Liberties can pull this one off.
Yeah, it would be a surprise, there's no doubt in that. But they have shown pedigree in recent years, and we did say that gap between the top 4 was narrowing, and KP showed it yesterday. Didn't quite get there, but Liberties are following on that lead.
Anthony Nash with a chance to make it a 2-point game. It's going to drop to the right and wide. We've seen often so many wides right on that side. We're going to see another sub for Patrickswell here. Jack, so often the right hand side just shows where the wind is going.
Yeah, and look, clean strike. It was probably another 10 or 15 yards on it, which bodes well for Anthony if the rain can continue to cease, that he will get more chances. But an opportunity missed there by South Liberties.
Yeah, it's Tom Nolan that's gone off here for John Kirby. Sean O'Brien under pressure over on that far side, doing well. Outrageous hand pass to Nigel Foley. Foley playing it into the middle. That's a brilliant interception by the South Liberties captain, but Burns pulls and he pulls hard. He got all of it, and he got all of Owen Godfrey with it. Perfectly legally, of course. But Patrickswell have been unable to hold on to possessions. Conor McSweeney switches this one. It's going to be brought up here as there's a man down. It's Owen Godfrey. Yeah. Jack, he felt every bit of Dermot Burns' power. 50-50 ball, perfectly legal challenge. Nothing wrong with it, but Owen Godfrey is in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong with it at all. And we said it when Josh Constantine hits you, certainly when Dermot Burns hits you, you will know all about it. But great bravery from Owen Godfrey, first of all, to intercept the pass in. And he saw Dermot Burns coming at him, and he didn't pull out at all. Fair play to him. He's getting a bit of treatment here. And again, it's stop-start in a way with the scores back and forward and freeze. But, hopefully Owen is all right, because look, you want to reward that bravery.
He didn't shirk the challenge, Jack. Bit of a captain's role there as well.
Yeah,
many, and you could say why they'd pull out of that kind of challenge. Owen Godfrey was having none of it. Straight in, no bother whatsoever. Felt the brunt of Dermot Burns' challenge, and as we said, perfectly legally, but it's going to be indirect free when play restarts for South Liberties over on that far side. And maybe, just maybe, Anthony Nash might come off and we might see another little low delivery in like he did that one that ended up hitting the post earlier in this game. But the concern right now for South Liberties is the health and well-being of their captain, Owen Godfrey.
Yeah, I imagine he's probably winded, if not a knock to the head there. I don't blame him for taking his time getting back in, because he's gone straight back into the heat of battle. Like, one thing this half has been is ferocious in terms of intensity, and that's what you want to see. And it shows why Limerick are on top when you go to the club games, when you show first of all the commitment, but also the skill and power and intensity and all that goes with it. The inter-county game, it's been bred down to the club game.
Yeah, it's thrown ball, not an indirect free here, but Owen Godfrey's still in a fair amount of trouble, and that could be the end of his afternoon's play here in Kilmallock. The South Liberties captain is limping quite heavily off the field. His day is over.
A dead leg, I'd say. I know I'd said maybe winded or something, but it looks, by the way he's walking, it's a dead leg.
Just waiting to see who's coming on for South Liberties at the moment here. Don't think there's anyone ready, Jack, unless I've missed something.
No, because Brendan McSweeney has come out. 18 is getting talked about.
It's Mike Keane who's already been on, is coming back on, so it's Mike Keane that comes back on for South Liberties. Big loss though, and Godfrey's been in fine form here as John Hickey wins that one, flicks it along the line. Shawnee O'Brien has it, hand pass comes, it's a wild one from Shawnee, and it's come eventually to Tom O'Brien, or Tom Ryan I should say. He was pulled back. That's a chance for South Liberties to go 2 points to the good.
Yeah, and I suppose it's because of that Tom Ryan point a few minutes ago that I can't remember who pulled him there, but they felt they had to pull him, that he was going to shoot and put it over the bar. But Barry will be confident standing over this, and it's going to be a 2 point game if he can nail this.
Yeah. Just over 28 minutes of the second half played, of course. Following that injury to Owen Godfrey, there will be plenty of stoppage time too. And it is 110 to 12 points in favour of South Liberties here in Kilmallock. A chance for Barry Nash to put him 2 points to the good in the dying stages of this last aid clash.
Again, Tom Ryan is coming more into this half, getting hand of ball, winning frees, scoring as well.
So Nash with it. Strike is good from Barry. Is the accuracy there as well? It is a point indeed. It's gone over the bar. Liberties lead by 2.
Yeah, brilliant strike there by Barry. very high. Hard for umpires to call it, but I'm sure it went over the bar there. And a 2-point game, and it'll come to a time when Patrickswell are going to have to start chasing this.
They are indeed, and Aaron Gillan tried to win it, couldn't win it. Someone got in his way. I think it was Paddy Maher, and a battle for possession goes played inside, but Conor McSweeney's back there, and he's been very good since he's moved back there. Finds Barry Nash with a low, and Nash looks for a bit of help. He's going to look again. He's over carried it, just took it that 1 yard too far, that 1 step too far. That's a chance for Aaron Gillan. Barry knows full well exactly that he over carried there. No argument. Tom Ryan just had that little glance towards Tom Ryan. That's what caught him.
I think he probably thought he had too many options there. He saw Tom Ryan, he saw Brendan McSweeney and Dave Gary inside, and it's so easy happen that you think you have more time, but John Halloran definitely made the right decision there. But it's a soft one to give away, because you imagine Aaron Gillan will take advantage. And again, after going to 2 points ahead, they couldn't push further into the lead. It's probably going to be Patrickswell. But interesting that Dermot has come up into the South Liberties half. We don't usually see him that far up the field, but I suppose when it's this important of a free.
Yeah, there's going to be John Hickey's day is over as well here. Went down off the ball here, so he's gone as well.
Did a lot of work in his time on the field, John himself.
Came on at half time. Very good performance from him. Just waiting to see who's on there, Jack.
My eyesight now isn't the greatest these days. He's side on from us, so can't see.
It's number 21 for South Liberties. It's Shane Kilcoyne is the man who's on for John Hickey. And I'm hearing, Jack, from down below us here that there's going to be 9 minutes of added time here in Kilmallock, of additional time. So there's plenty to go yet here.
I will take it. This has been a good half. We'll take the extra 9 minutes. But I suppose if the word gets out to the players and it's a 2-point game, you can just say, look, lads, relax. We have plenty of time. As I said, there will come a time where a team will have to chase it. It's not quite yet. But the bodies, the casualties are starting to add up, and just shows the intensity and how much lads are giving out there.
Yeah, really, really intense game. Dermot Burns has come up inside the 65, midway between the 65 and 45 to take this. So that's an interesting one. Aaron Gillan not on this one. You'd imagine from 65 in he'd be taking them. Burns does so. Burns does the necessary, so it doesn't really matter.
That's why.
1 point game. 1 point game, Jack.
Yeah, that's why Dermot Burns came up there. And again, look, that's how, as I said, South Liberties can't add to that total, can't make it a 3-point game. They bring back to 1. Anthony Nash, route 1. Nearly reaching 21, but Dermot Burns is there. It's usually back that Dermot will get it out of there. It's breaking around there. It's falling for Brian Ryan, or Dave Gary.
Yeah, Dave Gary flicks it inside. It's going to fall to Tom Ryan. And Tom Ryan looking for a bit of help. Steps past Dermot Burns, flicks it along the line. Great skill from Tom Ryan, still going with it. And now it is Barry Nash that has a Nash on the run. He's looking for a bit of help. He plays it across. It's going to fall to someone, but it's not a foul. It is a foul from John Halloran. It was Barry Nash. It was Brian Ryan again that played it across. Barry Nash was the man that was fouled. And Jack, it's a free in and a certain score for South Liberties, you'd imagine.
Yeah, you'd feel for Aaron Gillan there, because it is a tangle of legs. He's going for the ball, but yeah, David Gary gave it across there to Barry Nash, and another easy free. And again, eats into the clock, John. If we are getting that 9 minutes, that's 7 left for South Liberty's 2-point game. Tom Ryan probably took as many steps as Barry Nash, but when you're fouled, you do get the benefit of the doubt. And I don't think it was over carrying either. But again, I said Tom Ryan. It was Conor McSweeney in the first half that kind of brought him back into the game. It's Tom Ryan leading by example here. I think Conor's been very solid going back there as the sweeper. It's worked out well. Barry Nash to put Liberties 2 ahead.
So Barry Nash, another score here. Well, you'd imagine another score. Yep, straight over from Barry Nash. We played 3 minutes of additional time here, and it's another 2-point lead here for South Liberties.
Jason Glenn weighing up his options. He goes short out to Shawnee O'Brien.
112 to 13 points here. Shawnee O'Brien isn't fouled. Good chasing back there. Finds Dermot Burns. Doesn't find Dermot Burns. And Tom Ryan is the right man in the right place again. Plays this one in, but there's no one there from a South Liberties point of view. And Jason Gillan, well, he drops it, but he's immediately and has enough time to collect it and launch this one up into the full forward line. Battle there with Michael O'Brien and Tom O'Brien. But it's Conor McSweeney that's come away with it, and there's a hit on Conor McSweeney. Chopped down, Jack, in. Is it at this stage South Liberties really have the run in this game?
Yeah, they do. And while it was South Liberties in the first half that just couldn't win that prime possession, it's Patrickswell now there. And even though the ball was thrown away there by Tom Ryan, they had the wherewithal to win it back there. Probably a mistaken pass there by Jason Glenn. I think dropping the ball the first time probably put a bit more nerves into him, had to speed things up, and Anthony Nash here will have distance to get it into the goal mouth, if not over.
And it's going to drop in and around the 21 metre line here. Up goes several players. It's going to break, and it's going to break. Well, initially for Paddy Maher was underneath it from a Patrickswell point of view. It's Gary that has it now, but away comes Kelvin Lynch, and Lynch needs a bit of help, finds it in the form of John Flynn. Flynn under pressure. Tom Ryan slides in and trips him. That'll be a card as well for Tom Ryan, surely.
Going for the hook there, though. You could see that he was waiting for John Flynn to do something there, but John kept on the hurley, and it's going to be yellow, but again, no malicious intent behind that. But Burnsy from his own 45, we've seen it already in this half before. Although John Halloran is sending him back. Josh Constant here below us is in an ocean room, if Burns wants to use him.
Yeah, there was an attempted switch of Slitter as well there by Patrickswell. Tried to get the new one on. You chance anything at this stage of the championship, Jack, at any stage of it.
You don't blame any of these things for a bit of ingenuity, but the officials here are some of the best in the game, and they spotted it fairly quickly.
Yeah, they've spotted pretty much everything so far in this game as Burns gets the strike away. It's a good strike, but the accuracy is not there for Dermot Burns, and be very disappointed with that, Jack. We've seen him score from probably further out earlier on in this half.
Yeah, and connection was good. It's just accuracy there. Can't blame the conditions. But
and it was well off target as well, not like him at all.
Yeah, and you're wondering, maybe was he thinking mid-strike, will they actually just drop it in or aim at Aaron Gillan or something? But if Calvin Carr can get this up, Catch Kirby's in the ocean room, or John Kirby.
Good challenge there by Mike Keane. Sends Calvin Carroll out over the sideline, but obviously got the last touch in it as well as Patsy Coffey. Gives the sideline ball to Patrickswell.
3 to play here, John. Still a 2-point lead.
36 minutes of the second half now played. Dermot Burns lines up this line ball. Burns with the strike. Not often you see him take sidelines. No, you'd wonder why, looking at that. Straight over to Aaron Gillan. Brian Nash is off him with the case. Chops down on top of him.
Brilliant. And look, to be fair to Brian Nash, he's done very well on Aaron, because a lot of times Aaron wins that clean and he's away. But I think, again, this was more of a chop, I think. But again, as Aaron is lifting, Brian is coming in. And look, when you hear that clash, there's nothing that John Hanlon can do, only give it to free. But Dermot isn't coming up for this one. He's staying ready for the long puck out that invariably will come. But this is well within Aaron's locker.
Yeah, you'd imagine so. A chance for Aaron Gillan to put one between the sides yet again here in Kilmallock. Strike is good from Aaron Gillan. The accuracy is there as well. So, Jack, we've 2 minutes of added time left. Marathon game is extra time in the offing, do you think?
Yeah, Anthony Nash is playing with the Slitter on top of the roof of the net. He's after walking 4 into the goal, Slitter. And again, bit of ingenuity, doing everything you can just to run down those clocks. Probably taking about 15 seconds there for a puck out, but the South Liberties contingent won't care in the slightest.
Aims it towards Brian Ryan and Barry Nash. And Brian Gary, I should say, over there. The red helmets got me confused yet again. It's going to break, and it's broken into South Liberties. Man, I thought Tom Ryan had it, but it's gone over the line ball. It's going to be a Liberties line ball, Jack. And I think, is there a strike off the ball there?
I don't think so, to be honest. I think this could be just to get a bit of time, because the closest to him was Pat Kirby, and he was walking away from him. He was a nice bit away from him. I could be wrong, but that's what I saw. But again, eating into that clock, John, and we're approaching the 38 minutes. And you'd imagine if it's a line ball, if they can retain possession here, Well,
there's John O'Halloran there, and it's red. It's a red card here for Patrickswell. It's John Kirby. I'm not quite sure. I thought there was a strike off the ball over by the sideline on that occasion, and that has proved to be the case. Red card, Jack. Patrickswell down to 14 men, and Tom Ryan is lining up this line ball.
Yeah, I take back everything I said, because something must have happened. But it probably won't make much difference in the next minute or so about an extra man. But it allows Liberties to play with a sweeper now, a full-time sweeper, not to worry about someone else being free.
Tom Ryan with the sideline. It's a great strike from Ryan. It's going to bounce at the edge of the square. It's falling Patrickswell's way though. And Paddy Maher plays it to Dermot Burns. 1 point between the sides. Patrickswell just reduced to 14. It's 2. Jack Keller. A quiet second half for Keller. Great challenge comes in by Michael O'Brien. Patrickswell have it to Tom O'Brien. Did he throw it? Doesn't matter. From South Liberties, Barry Cooney has it. Tom Ryan launches it into the full forward line. Brendan McSweeney's trying to be there. It's going to end up going wide. And it's going to be a free or a puck out taken quickly, not taken to the satisfaction of referee John O'Halloran. Jack, safe to say all over the place, there's bedlam.
Yeah, the South Liberties lads thought that whistle from John O'Halloran was the signal the game was over, but I think this will be our last play, John. We're gone into the 40th minute of the half. Long puck out by Jason Gillan.
Gillan launches it, Aaron's up there, several others up there. It's going to break, and it's going to break to South Liberties. Back there, the hand pass comes, and Tom Ryan is the man who comes away. We played 30 seconds over. Tom Ryan, he should just hold on for it. He goes for the score. He gets the score for Liberties. Liberties have won it here in Kilmallock. They lead Patrickswell by 2. Time is surely up. Time is surely up here. So Liberties are into the semi-final of the Limerick Senior Hurling Championship in 2022.
Brilliant scenes here, John. Look at that. Look what it means to the South Liberties contingent. Look, it's disappointing for Patrickswell. They've been in every semi-final since 2014, which is a credit to them. But this day belongs to South Liberties. And look, it's no fluke victory. Over the course of the game, they thoroughly deserved that victory. Dominated the second half. I said it in the first that Patrickswell would probably rue those wides. I think in the grand scheme of things they will. But look, deserving winner South Liberties. Great to see a new team in the last four, John. They'll be really up against it, whoever they play. But after missing out on promotion back to the top tier, this will more than make up for it. And like, they will have no fear in the semi-final. A credit to their club. Brilliant game, work rate off the charts, and you know, another wonderful advert for Limerick hurling, John.
Yeah, some game here, Jack, some result as well. Tom Ryan, he was in two minds when he had that ball at the end, but I just keep running with it. Maybe he didn't have the energy. He certainly had to finish. Brilliant scenes here, as you mentioned too. You know, very dignified as well from Patrickswell players and management, as you would expect. Brilliant celebrations for South Liberties, Jack. They've exceeded expectations with this victory, but you could clearly see from the off here, they believed in what they were doing. They believed they could get the victory, and Brian Ryan has led his side to a sensational victory here.
Yeah, and you know, their big players really stood up and were counted when needed. We mentioned Conor McSweeney when he started full forward. Obviously not a natural full forward, ball wasn't coming to him, but when he came out to centre forward and then into the sweeper role, he really commanded the area. Tom Ryan was on, I'd say, every possession they had in the second half. South Liberties, Tom Ryan was thereabouts to the ball. Barry Nash nailing his frees from open play as well. Anthony Nash, you know, Brian Ryan, all these lads, like the O'Neills as well, the Garys, Cooney in midfield. You know, brilliant performance by South Liberties. It was nice to see there Keane Lynch going straight in to Barry Nash, congratulate him, like, you know, ever the sportsman Keane is. But again, this day belongs to South Liberties. So fantastic game, and it's great. Again, it's great to see. You know, like, you can hear it here in the gantry, the celebrations from the South Liberties lads. There was a nice crowd here. I wonder will they make their way around to congratulate their victorious team. They haven't been in the semi-final since they were promoted back in 2009. That'll come to an end. They'll have one of the big three remaining: the Piershig, Doon or Kilmallock. But like, I mean, it's bonus territory now. All they want to do is give a performance, and after the showing today, you know, they're well capable of beating one of the big boys in Limerick.
No question they are. Well, that's it from us here in Kilmallock. South Liberties have come away with a sensational victory against Patrickswell. They've booked their spot in the Bon Secours Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship semi-finals along with Doon, Kilmallock and Patrickswell. We'll be back with more live action soon.